How's it going, guys? RealRadman here, back at it again with another video. We have the first dev diary for NASCAR Heat 2. If you guys remember last year for NASCAR Heat Evolution, there were 5 dev diaries. This one will be touching on career mode, the stage racing, split screen, and also dirt. So we're going to touch on all that today. I'll break it down. If you guys want to see the original clip, basically untouched, just 2 minutes and 30 seconds, then I'll leave that in the link down below from 704 Games themselves. But let's go ahead, let's break down this dev diary.
One of the great things about working in NASCAR is we get a chance to do a product year after year after year. So last year was a chance to get the foundation down. One of the approaches to making a great game is really listening to fan feedback. You know, they're playing the game, they know what they want, and you know, anytime they give suggestions, we take it seriously.
One of the things we really wanted to add that they wanted that we didn't have in the game last year was split screen racing. So now you can sit down on the couch with your friend or your family member, you know, mom, dad, kid, whatever, and you can have really exciting door-to-door races with somebody who's right there on the couch with you.
Let's pause it there. So you saw some split racing action, but what I saw was pretty much the first actual raw footage or gameplay from Eldora, even though it's in split screen. But if we play that back, you can see the 4 split screen races, and I see the Eldora one, which definitely stands out. And like I said, it looks pretty good for now. Still haven't really seen the physics side. I haven't been able to play the game, so you can't really tell. But so far, it looks pretty good, not going to lie. The graphics, obviously you have to kind of notch your expectations down a little bit because it's not going to have graphics from like Forza or Project Cars 2. That's not what it's going to have, but for what it's trying to be, better graphics than last year.
For the first time in 10 years, we've finally been able to add all 3 national series. Getting the game right is getting all the details right, and so when we got a chance to add the new series, it involved, you know, adjusting every aspect of it.
The addition of the extra series adds a ton of diversity to the game. The new tracks, the new driving styles, the ability for a player to envision themselves as a professional NASCAR driver in each of the series.
Alright, let's pause it there. So we're going to just replay that entire section there. Basically what I noticed here was, one, the setup menu. It looks like even when you're paused or you're driving, it looks different, because if you remember NASCAR Heat Evolution, you can only change the setup while you're looking at your car at the start menu or whatever it was that, you know, at the beginning, where you can either skip to practice or skip to the race or skip to qualifying, whatever it was. It looks like maybe while you're practicing, you can change the setup. Kind of like the old EA Sports days, if you guys remember, which is better. It's a nice option to have. And a couple other things I noticed. If you look at the digital dash in some of the cars, they look different. I see like a tack in like 2 of the shots, and then I see the digital dash in another shot. So does that mean maybe you can change the settings in the digital dash, or am I just looking at it wrong and that's just a normal tack and then you have the digital dash? So there could be multiple ways that this goes. You can have a couple options for the digital dash, or you can have an option for the digital dash and then an option for normal tack. As long as we have the option, I think a lot of people will be happy with that, because people still are very divided on that. Do you want a digital dash? Do you want the normal tack? So that's what I see there. As well as a couple of shots of the new track. So you saw Gateway, you saw Road America. I think you saw Canadian Tire, but I'm not very experienced with that track. I'm almost positive we saw Road America. We saw Iowa as well. So that's pretty good right there. And yeah, let's continue on.
We were as surprised as everybody else with the stage format change, and we were halfway through development. This came out of nowhere. We had to throw out all the rules we had written over the last few years and re-implement them to allow us to do stage racing.
We had to redo like 300,000 lines of code, and by doing that, we were able to bring stage racing to online racing, which also means we have yellow flags for online racing, and that is going to be amazing, crazy, but we'll get to see a lot of exciting races online, and I'm really excited for the fans to try that.
Let's pause it there. So we have stage racing. Now, for those of you that are wondering how it's going to work, if you have a short race, like let's say a 5% race, it's not going to be implemented. So you don't have to do stage racing. It will be implemented in the longer races. So probably starting with either 7% or 10% or 13%, whatever it was in NASCAR Heat Evolution. That's when the stage racing looks like it will probably come into play. Maybe even further up. Maybe it'll take 20% to actually get stage racing in there. But it will not be featured in the shorter races because, as you guys know, it would just be too confusing. You have 2 like really short stages, probably 5 laps each, and then a final stage of 10, which just wouldn't make sense. So if you guys don't want to do stage racing, you don't have to. And maybe as well, I can't confirm this, but hopefully it's an option. You could just turn off stage racing. You can. I'm almost positive if you check their Twitter, 704 Games, NASCAR Heat on Twitter, that one of the questions have been answered if you could turn off stage racing, but I cannot confirm if you could do it, so someone could leave it down in the comments maybe. But I think there is the option of, hey, I want to run a 100% race without stage racing. I think you should have the option. So something that I'm already noticing much more in the developer diary is that it looks like they're giving you options. You know, do you want an old tack? Do you want digital digital tack? I don't even know what I'm saying. Do you want trucks, Xfinity, or Cup? When we get to career mode, you'll see options there as well. And also, do you want stage racing? Do you not want stage racing? Do you want cautions? Do you not want cautions? So there's more options that people can have, and that's always great to have.
And it's a new driving experience that they didn't have from the last product. And especially having Eldora in the game and having a dirt physics feel in the game is a huge step forward.
It is really fun to race around Eldora and swap paint with all those other guys and drift just nicely through the corners.
We threw out all of the career mode and we redid it from scratch. And the whole experience was really motivated by discussion when we had a chance to talk with some of the NASCAR drivers. And they described what the experience was like to start out as a new driver and modeled the whole experience after that. We're going to start you out as truck racing, but your goal is to work your way up to finally get a seat in Xfinity. And your ultimate goal when you're racing is to kind of get invited to one of the Monster Energy Series teams. And that's really what the whole experience is like, to be able to race side by side with the stars.
NASCAR Heat 2 arrives September 12th. Pre-order now at NASCARheat.com.
Okay, so let's break that entire thing down. In that last clip, I got my I got my question answered. Basically, we do have options for the digital dash because I saw a digital tachometer. So yeah, that answered my question. So thank you to the devs for answering my question, I guess, even by watching the video. But career mode, so you guys can see how career mode works. You do start at trucks, you do go to Xfinity, and then eventually to Cup. You get offers. You get money for those offers. What do you do with the money? We don't know yet. Could you own your own team? Most likely you can. But let's see how that's going to work, because you won't be able to own your own team right from the beginning. It wouldn't really make sense unless you were just a billionaire and could just do it off the bat. But it doesn't look like you'll be able to own a team right away. If you guys remember Fight to the Top, I'm always referencing Fight to the Top to this career mode because I'm seeing a lot of resemblances. So if you remember Fight to the Top, you can own a wheel and modified team after you made like $350,000. You could own a Cup team after you made a couple $1 million. So hopefully that's how it works. If you want to own a truck team, you have to build up that money. While you're racing in Xfinity, you can then buy a truck team. While you're racing in Cup, you can buy an Xfinity team and a truck team. And then, you know, even after a couple of seasons, maybe, or maybe 1 season or 2 seasons, you can own your own Cup team. So hopefully that's what the money is for, because I don't see why they would implement money if there was not a purpose for having it. So there should be a purpose for owning a team, and it should take time to own a team. It shouldn't just be offered to you right away. You gotta start from the bottom and you work your way up, which is hopefully what we're gonna have. You saw some of the layouts there as well, how the menus will work, and how there's a hot seat, so you wait for an offer, and you have to do well in that offer to get more offers, and hopefully a full-time ride. So it looks pretty good there. It looks a little bit menu based, but hey, you know, still only second year of the game, still working on it. Everything else I saw looked promising. The dirt racing, I haven't done dirt racing myself, so I can't really say if it will be great or not, but just from what I'm seeing, it looks pretty good. And everything else, stage racing, split screen, a lot of people wanted split screen. It's in the game, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that. And yeah, they said they're listening to the feedback. So because Rich at the beginning of the video said that they always listen to fan feedback, I want you guys to comment down below and give your feedback. What do you think so far? What do you think still needs to be added? I could tell you one thing that probably will not be added already is the right analog stick being able to rotate around the car. That's probably not going to be added. If they do, that'll be very surprising. But that probably won't be added. So just whatever you want to see added in the game, whatever you think is already great of the game, if you want to, you know, give the applause for them, and comment down below some nice comments, or if you just want to like berate them with what you want in the game, you do that. So if you guys like the video, make sure that like button. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I will see you guys later. Hope you are having a fantastic day, and peace out.
Even if I tried, even if I wanted to, and I can't change. Even if I tried, my love, she keeps me warm.